Welcome to another incredible edition of Marquee Backstage All Access. I'm your host, Julie Milam. We're excited to go more in depth into the lives and music of our guests, sharing all of our interview content and 5 full-length songs which were recorded at Thunder Sound Studios. Today we sit down with Kentucky trio C4 as they share their success with us and bring their talents to Marquee Backstage All Access. Before we dive in, here's C4 performing Till Tomorrow Comes.
It's the road that I'm on, yeah, it's burning me up. These soles in my shoes, yeah, they're getting pretty rough. I spend my whole damn life running from the pain. I don't know how many times I'm jumping from state to state, trying to get away, running from your memory. I'm in a state that I should love yesterday. I'm tired of running from the hurt, trying to drink my pain away with the beat, the jack, and a bottle of 101. Well, I know that will work until tomorrow comes. Find me in the deepest valley down to Tennessee, sitting here just listening to the breeze and trying to let go of memories. And I'm waiting on the rain to come and wash it all away. Cause I got nowhere to run, nowhere to run until tomorrow comes. I'll be running from your memory. I'm in a state that I should love yesterday. I'm tired of running from the hurt, trying to drink my pain away with the beat, the jack, and a bottle of 101. But I know that will work until tomorrow comes. Running from your memory, I'm in a state that I should love yesterday. I'm tired of running from your hurt, trying to drink my pain away with the
The members of C4 have a special connection to our recording facility, Thunder Sound Studios. Lead vocalist and guitar player Caleb House shares with us how deep this bond is and the band's journey to recording their latest album. Caleb, you and the guys from C4 have made some really good memories here in this space at Thunder Sound. Tell us what being in this room again feels like to you.
It feels good. It feels good. We was here February of 2018 recording our album. When we came in, it was about halfway through remodeling, so it was a breath of fresh air to walk in and see glass in the windows up front and just see everything that's came together and come to life.
So what made you pick Thunder Sound to record your record?
Well, we was really just in a funny transition between studios, and we kind of outgrew the current tracking room that we was in with drums, and we was ready to do some drum tracks. And really, I knew Billy and knew his family, and I knew what he was working towards out here. So I contacted a friend of ours that told me that Troy had taken it over in the management position, and he was working towards getting it reopened. So it all kind of just fell into place in the time frame, and I think we may have had to wait 3 or 4 weeks once we got in contact with Troy, and then we got on in here and finished our album up.
So what was it like to make music in this space with Billy?
It was a blessing, honestly. There wasn't a very big time frame in between the accident with Billy and us being in here, so just knowing that this is what Billy would have wanted and wanted his life in music to continue through his studio, I think it was a really cool feeling to be here, one, and a good atmosphere also.
He definitely believed in his fellow musicians. He believed in what you guys were doing. He was glad to have left his mark on your record, and we're excited to be able to share that today here in his space. So what would you say to other artists who want to come here and do the same?
I would recommend it 100%. Just knowing the technology and the old technology, and there's not a better atmosphere because you're away from everything. You know, once you walk in the doors here, it's you're in a whole nother level of a studio. It's not like being in downtown Nashville where you walk in and everybody's rushing you through. It's a real laid back. You can really wrap your head around what you're doing here instead of just kind of, hey, I'm on studio time, you know. And I think it means a lot to artists. And you walk in the doors and it's peace, and you walk out the doors and it's the same way because there's no sounds. You're literally in the middle of nowhere, you know. So it's pretty cool.
And this is home to you, right?
It is. My wife and I actually bought a house 3 miles down the road from here last year. So it's pretty neat, and it's pretty convenient for me also. So
we're bringing Marquee Backstage to you.
Right, that's it.
Tried to make that convenient for you.
That's right.
So when you came in to Thunder Sound to work with Billy, did you already have an idea of how you wanted to lay this record out, or did you guys collaborate some?
Well, there again, we had our band has been through some major transitions with different musicians, and I don't want to spaceship this question too much, but I don't think people understand how hard it is to keep a band unified and together in the same setting, same people for a long amount of time. So we had changed drummers, long story short, and we originally came in here with the idea that we was just going to do drum tracks and try to get the previous drummer's drums off of our album, continue with our new drummer, our current drummer, and when we walked in, it felt right. We had 4 more tracks that we needed everything to, and it felt so right to walk in here and just finish it all, you know. And other than some vocal touch-ups, that's basically what we did. We spent 12 or 13 hours here one day and tracked those 4 songs and let our drummer do his thing on the other songs, and it turned out really good. I mean, we used, to tell you how good the sound is here, we used scratch vocals on 3 of 8 songs that we recorded, you know. and it's kind of unheard of. But I couldn't go back in and do anything to even justify changing it. So it's a good place, and it's a good sound here.
So we're bringing that full circle today, Caleb, and we're going to be playing that same music in this same location for all of the world to see. What does that feel like to you?
That feels good, and we actually got some new content also. So I'm excited to get that out there. We haven't tracked the newer songs that we're doing today, and it's always good to get that exposure. That's what we're looking for.
So there's nowhere to go but up. Totally explosive C4.
That's it. Explosive C4. I like that.
Love it. Well, let's tell the world.
Let's do it.
That was No Way to Win by C4. We'd like to thank Thunder Sound Studios for letting us film our show from their fully equipped analog and digital recording studio complex in Franklin, Kentucky. For more information about Thunder Sound, please visit thundersound.com. Next, get ready to hear from drummer Preston Ogles and bass player Jeff Howard as they share their most memorable moments and what they'd like to accomplish as a band. And don't miss their performance of Way I Was Raised. Preston, tell me your favorite C4 moment to date.
Probably Vet City, when we played at the festival in Bowling Green. It was just incredible. The stage, playing on the big stage, and I loved it. So.
Some big names out there that you guys were keeping company with.
Yeah.
What a great experience for you. What about you, Jeff?
It had to be the same, being on the same day, same stage as Colt Ford and Louisiana Swamp Donkeys. Great company as far as everything leading up to that, and then being backstage back there, having our own backstage area, and it was really the rock star treatment, and it's like, man, this is so cool. And then, to continue with that, that's kind of where we're wanting to be.
They treated you like the stars that you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we go from here?
We'd like to get more festivals like that, and be a part of that, and more exposure, more festivals, just continually grow, and be a part of those different things, and the crowds, and getting newer fans, meeting more people, and just keep going, because that's eventually what we want to do, is to be on tour, to be the band to see, being, whatever we can grasp, as far as the supporters, and, will let us, and any kind of promotions, that's what we're going after. And then just giving a good show at the same time, and giving out good music and more recording. And we're actually looking to get back in the studio, and Thunder Sounds, where we recorded a lot of the material from our previous album, and which was done in March, I believe, and we released it in April. And we want to continue with that, and continue on, and keep recording, keep doing the big shows, bigger cities, meet more people, and go forward.
I know your fans want that as well.
Yes.
What about you, Preston?
I just want to, I would like to make it big, get a record deal. It's been my dream since I was a little kid, and just play everywhere I can, everywhere really. It'd be awesome.
Do you hear the stories from fans where they connect with you through a certain song or through a certain experience that you guys have shared? Have you had those experiences yet?
Yes. With when the album came out, of course, more people listened to the songs, and Till Tomorrow Comes, that there was a lot of response that I got, from different fans, just from verbally talking to them at shows, saying how much they love the song, how much they connect to the song. In some of the other songs, but that one sticks out more because they always give me a track number, or they give me the song title, and they said they really relate to the lyrics and to the just the vibe of the song, and it makes you feel good because you contributed to their life, because that's their soundtrack. Mm-hmm. And if they're playing it and they're continually playing it, and it's like, wow, we did something there.
Absolutely. That's the way to touch souls. Mm-hmm. So whose idea was that song?
That was all Caleb's. He wrote that, and I think it's an older, he's had it for a while, and of course we put it on the CD and recorded it and everything, and now it's out there. But that was his feelings at that time whenever he wrote that song, and put it all together, and then we just kind of put in our part as far as bass and then drums, and just kind of filled in the gaps there.
Isn't it cool to be at a point in your career where you can physically see the impact that your music has on someone else's life, and you're not just playing for fun?
Oh yeah, definitely. I like to connect with the audience. I like to see them, get hype, because I don't know, I play better, especially when the crowd's into it more. Right. But I like when fans get into our music, and it's just awesome feeling.
you really do feed off of their energy,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but yet they're feeding off of yours.
Yeah, it's twofold.
Do you guys do anything special before you take a stage? Is there something that you do that really helps you put on a better show?
Well, we do a celebratory drink, before, just like a big toast.
Yeah.
Hey, let's have a good show.
That's it.
And we take our toast, and then we head to the stage, and then I don't know, it's just part of like a ceremony, I guess, kind of. And we just get up there, and it really relaxes you,
Mm-hmm.
and you get up there, and you just lose your touch with reality, and just kind of explore into that realm of music, and then you just escape.
You get lost in it.
Yeah, you get lost in it, and it's like between all the lights and everything, and you just can't really see the crowd unless you kind of get out to the edge of the stage or whatnot. But you're just in your own world, and when you share that music with Caleb and Preston, and you're up there playing, you just get lost, and it's a very good feeling. Very good feeling.
So you have a ritual before the show starts. What about after? When you come off the stage and you're still really, really excited off of that performance and that whole experience, is there something special that you do? Do you sit down and talk about it? Do you talk about what was great, what you'd like to do different, or do you just really kind of ride that high after the show?
I like to talk to the fans and stuff.
Yeah.
Or when I can, just say hi, hey, or just talk to them. And I mean, that's always cool when you get off the stage and you can interact with them,
And usually there's times, when we go by the merch table and you're hanging out over there, and then you're selling shirts or CDs or, giving out stickers. Sometimes they just go out to the crowd and I just hand out stuff.
That's awesome.
And sometimes we do that. And sometimes that creates a connection too. Like, hey, they handed me something, and that's impressionable. I mean, coming from a fan myself, going to a show, and if they give me something, it's like, wow, they care about their fans. They care about their supporters, which in turn, that helps us along the way, and it makes a good moment for both parties involved, and we hang out and talk, whatever, just kind of talk about anything really, and it's a very cool experience after the show, and then of course you can kind of wind down, you're tearing stuff down, and it's pretty cool.
The fan experience is everything. And it's just like you said, as a fan yourself,
Right.
you have high expectations of what to expect when you go see a show.
Mm-hmm.
But rarely do you ever see artists come out into the audience to spend time with their fans.
Right.
Sometimes you'll get an encore, sometimes you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
very rare that you'll have artists that will take the time to come out into a venue and shake hands, take photos, give out stickers for free.
Yeah.
Like, that's unheard of.
Right.
So that's fantastic. But you know what? They will be with you. They will be loyal to you. And the more time that you invest in them, the more people they will tell. So I applaud you for having that connection with your fans.
Yes. It's cool.
I grew up 5 miles from town, where we to work till the sun goes down in these fields. I was taught how to work real hard. We could even pick store cars out here. Playtimes in the evening, Jack and Jim on a trying to figure out just who I am and who I wanna be. I'm trying to come up with a real good plan, how to get my toes in the sand. That's where I need to be. But at the end of the day, when all things change, remember nothing ever remains the same. You can't roll back the hands of time. You can't even change my mind. If there's one thing I could change, it wouldn't be how I was raised. The sun comes up and the stars go down. That's when my feet hit the ground. That's when I think about today. I'm living like I was raised. Like I was raised. You can't roll back the hands of time. You can't even change my mind. If there's one thing I could change, it wouldn't be how I was raised. The sun comes up and the stars go down. That's when my feet hit the ground. That's when I think about today. Living like I was raised.
Thank you for joining us on Marquee Backstage All Access. Today we're taking you behind the scenes of the life and music of C4. If you can't get enough, please follow them on social media at C4 Kentucky. And for all of our videos, photos, and music content, please follow us as well at Marquee Backstage. Here's more with C4 as we discuss everything from their adventures during shows to social media. And then we'll blow you away with their performance of Out on the Town. So C4 always has a great time in live stage performances. What's the biggest one that you remember most recently?
I would say the biggest time that we had on stage was probably in Vincennes, Indiana, wasn't it?
Yeah, as far as a big party, that was definitely a one that you either can remember or can't remember.
And, and you know, the cool thing about it, it really wasn't even a stage. It was they set us up under a pavilion because it had been raining like nonstop, and they had it by the river. So
and it was a lead-in to Vet City. The Vet City people were there also.
yeah, that's actually how we got our ticket in the door in Vet City. The sponsor, I guess he's not a sponsor, but promoter, if you will, Larry Joe. He was up there pushing his event, and he actually, while we were on stage, he hollered out, "Y'all guys are playing at Vet City," and we was like, "We are."
Yeah, we didn't even know.
Thanks for the heads up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bill Lemon, he had a big part in it too.
Yeah, he did. And that Bill Lemon is a Harley Life group, which is a motorcycle club out of Vincennes. So he's actually who hired us for the Indiana show. But we had a big time. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of people there, but man,
Right.
we were straight.
Yeah, it had been raining, and they had hotel rooms, and
I think at one point a girl walked up on stage and started rubbing Jeff's beard.
I can't even remember that. I don't even.
That says a lot for the show, Jeff. A lot for the show.
But anyway, we have had some good opportunities lately, and we're grateful for it. We're looking to push more of those coming up in the next 5-6 months, hopefully. But we're always looking to impress somebody, I guess you would say, and you never know who's out there. And we always give our 100% every time we get on stage. We treat it like we're playing in front of 5,000 people, and there could be 5 people in the room, and we're still going to treat it that way.
You never know who's in the room. I mean,
That's
it could lead to other events, on down the road, just like with Vet City.
Right.
And you just never know who promoter might be there, and just say, "Hey, you want to play another show here?" And like, "Oh shoot, yeah."
Especially when you're on stage and they yell at you what your next event's going to be.
Oh, that was pretty neat. We enjoyed that. One of the guys didn't hear it at the time, and he was like, "I need some tickets to Vet City." And Larry looked at him. He was like, "You don't need any tickets. You're playing at Vet City."
You're on the bill, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Wouldn't it be cool if every show you played, you had somebody say, "Hey, we'll see you next week,"
Right.
and you're like,
Yeah.
"Cool."
That'd be great.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. Unfortunately, the music scene doesn't work that way.
I know it doesn't.
90%, no, but it's a tough market out there right now. You've got a lot of good musicians and a lot of good talent scrunched into one Mideastern area here in the United States. So we're constantly in. You don't really consider it competition with other musicians, but you are in somewhat of a competition to earn your spot and earn your keep in the music world and the music industry. So we're always looking to better ourselves and get better, and we're practicing and keeping it tight, and that's the main thing.
Do you feel like social media has given you an edge? I think with social media now in this day, it helps you to connect with your audience a lot better than just at a show, at a live performance.
It does, and there's, 5-6 years ago, social media would have been the way to do it, and unfortunately, social media has been around long enough now. You've got a lot of scrollers, and people still just scroll down through your page and they scroll, and they're not going to stop. But I think when it first originated, it was really, really popular to use, and I think Jeff wears social media out for us. And
Yeah, he's the one that's good at it.
Yeah, he is. He's
He
great.
does everything.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We've got a website too. I mean, we try to capture everybody out there in cyberspace, to let them know when we're playing next, what we're doing, what we're up to. Maybe just even practicing. Hey, we got some new songs coming up.
Yeah, he's got stuff on platforms I don't even know we're on. It's crazy.
That's okay. You don't need to know everything.
And while we're talking about this, we are on Spotify and Apple Music and about
YouTube.
50 different others.
There's all
that you
kinds
could
of
probably name that I can't.
There's
But,
tons of them.
But we all need to know where to connect with you guys.
That's right.
And when you make it personal and we know that you're handling the social media, then we can shoot you a question and say, "Hey, Jeff,
Right.
tell me what Preston's favorite food is," or it's a great way to
Right.
interact with people.
right.
That's personal.
And just know that it is one of our band members that usually responds to you. So.
And when we're all three, especially with Facebook, and we're always responding on messages in there, whether it's a fan or whether it's somebody wants the book or anything like that. I'd say we're pretty responsive as far as that's concerned, because we're all three kind of watching it.
Yeah, you can simply ask us, personal questions. If you wanted to know how the band got started, we're going to respond to you. We try to stay big into the outreach with the fans, and I say we're going to. Jeff's going to.
At least you're honest.
Right.
So if you ask any questions, just know it's Jeff that's going to answer.
I usually sit down and look at it at like 10:30 at night,
Yeah,
or when Jeff's texted me 14 times. Did you see that on Facebook?
yeah. Just a reminder.
And then you say, "Yeah, can you go ahead and answer that?"
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
What do you think,
Did you take care
Presto?
of that?
What do you think about this? Oh yeah, that's a good idea, or maybe not a good idea.
How long does it usually take to respond to you?
Oh, not very long, because I've got it all synced to my phone, and I try to get it within a few minutes. If I see it and notification pops up on the phone, and then if it depends on what question it is, then I'll start shooting out messages to Caleb and Preston. Hey, you want to do this? Or hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
Do they respond to you pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Pretty
try to
good.
respond back to them pretty quick.
Yeah, it's pretty good amount of time for get back and
They don't leave you hanging.
no.
It's like, yeah, Jeff will just take care of that and let us know about
And,
it.
and if they don't mess me back, then I'll just call them.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
He knows
hey,
how to
man.
get hold of me.
Yeah, he's
Like,
sometimes.
If I had messaged him back, he's on the phone with me.
Or he'll say crickets.
Crickets, yeah, crickets.
Bueller.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
he'll
done that
keep
before
texting
too.
me.
Yeah.
Like then I start calling. Hey,
We got-
hey.
I think we've got a little over 2,000 followers on Facebook right now. So I mean, it'd be great to get more of those, obviously, and outreach a little further into the United States and even further than that. We've actually got some music platforms in Australia and
Yeah, we got some support from them too.
got some airtime out there.
Yeah,
I think.
Isaac Banks.
Yeah,
he,
Isaac Banks.
he did a little support and it shares our stuff and very cool. And we
Yeah.
got some people he can see on was it TuneCore? You can see
Yes.
actually.
Yeah,
who-
TuneCore, I can actually see who's listening and where it's been
Right.
listened to, so it's pretty neat. But, and then it's all part of our album originated right here in this room, so it's pretty neat to be back here. But
Yeah, it is.
Feels different today, though, right?
It is different.
Yeah,
it
it is.
Yeah.
The lights, the
A
cameras.
few
just a
more
little bit.
cameras in here.
More of a visual
Yeah.
thing than it is just an audio. So that is different.
Well, we cannot wait to feel the music in this room, and we thank you for letting us be backstage with you today.
What do they say? We're fixing to get down at Thunder Sound. Is that
We're going to
right?
get down at Thunder Sound. That's exactly right. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Marquee Backstage to catch up on other episodes or rewatch some of your favorites. Tune in next week as Jut Huffman brings his rock and reggae country sounds to Marquee Backstage All Access. We'll leave you now with C4 and their song, Mine for the Taking. Until next time, I'm Julie Milam. I'll meet you here next week on Marquee Backstage All Access.
I still don't know what to see in your smile. I'm broken, I'm beat up, you're flawlessly made. You made me feel perfect through every mistake. We've come a long way since day one. Your mind, body, soul has been touched by the sun. Your kiss gives me fits, and your eyes give me chills. I'll be with you till the day I die, till the day I fly. You're still crawling in my skin. You're mine for the taking.